Welcome to the LTC, the local trucking channel where we talk all things local. This is your host. This is your boy Andre Payton, and I'm here to give you everything that you need so that you could become not just a truck driver, but a local truck driver. Has anyone ever told you that you had to go over the road in order to become a truck driver? Has anyone ever told you that you had to work for a year for one company in order to become a truck driver? Has somebody ever told you that it was impossible to become a local truck driver right out of school? Well, I'm here to tell you that all of those things are false. That you can become local, you can be home daily, and you can do that all without ever going over the road. And so in this channel, my goal is to give you all that you need, all the information that you need in order not only to get in the trucking industry, but also to find local jobs that pay very well, that you will be able to support yourself or your family. And also, I'm here to give you information in regards to what school to go to, how to get into school for free, and what companies even to choose once you graduate from the trucking school. So first, I want to give you some background on me and how I got into the business. So just like many other of the millions of people during COVID-19, I was laid off and furloughed when the COVID-19 pandemic hit the United States. And so in that time, I had no job. I had no income, only the income that the government gave me, of course. And I was just sitting there. So me and my wife, as we were speaking, I thought that, well, since I'm just sitting here and I already have my Class B, at this time, but we were talking, we were saying, well, since I'm sitting here, I might as well do something. Might as well go back to school. But what can I go back to school for? Well, I'm already into transportation or driving big equipment, so why not just get my Class A? And in looking into it, I found out that my local unemployment office actually paid for your schooling. And I didn't know that, so looked into it, signed up for it, and I was eventually accepted into the program without me having to pay a dime. So got finished with the program in about a month and a half, I think maybe 2 months, somewhere around there, between a month and a half and 2 months. And I got my first job in the trucking at a very good company, paying almost twice as much as I was making at my previous job before COVID. But it showed me one thing. But in between that time, let me back up. In between that time, I didn't know anything about trucking. I didn't know the lingo. I didn't know the process. I didn't know anything. And so I had to really educate myself in the trucking industry, in the trucking business. So what did I do? Well, I looked on YouTube. And I looked at many different videos about trucking, not just trucking. I looked at the terminology. I looked at over the road, and I knew I didn't want to do that. Local trucking and different companies that would be accepting of, recent graduates. And so when I graduated, I did have something in mind, and I went to that particular job. But it also taught me something else too, that there is a misconception out there that in order to get your CDL, you have to go over the road. Even one of the recruiters from another company, he told me, he said, and I told him, I said, well, I have a job lined up. He said, well, that's impossible. No job will accept you without any experience. And I said, well, sir, with all due respect, that's not true, because they actually told me once I graduate, I have a job waiting. And he didn't believe me. He said, okay, good luck, was his response. But it just showed me that there is a misconception on, getting into the trucking industry, that you have to go over the road. And that's just not true. And so in this channel, that's what I want to do. I want to help you to get those outcomes, to get everybody doesn't want to go. Everybody doesn't have the circumstances to be gone from home weeks, months at a time. You know, that and especially for me, that just wasn't in the cards for me and taking care of my family. So I couldn't go over the road. And there are a lot of purists who say that, well, you're not a real trucker if you don't go over the road. You have to at least spend some time over the road in order to really get experience. I'm here to tell you as well, that's just not true. Because no matter what trucking company you're going to go to, you're going to get the experience. And depending on the type of field, the trucking field that you go into, and we'll get into that too in many of my other videos, you're going to have a lot of experience driving and backing. Looking at you, LTA. So, in conclusion, just make sure that when you get your information, you get it from a reliable source that has your interests, in mind. And I have that. I have your interest in mind because I've gotten other people in the trucking industry locally with a job, almost like a 9 to 5. Actually, it is possible. There are plenty of different job opportunities. In fact, I'm going to also show you that on Indeed, there are hundreds of local jobs. You can just scroll through them, local, that you can, get into. And there are even more hours that you can get into. I mean, the trucking industry is 24/7. So there are many different options, many different hours that you can work that'll suit you. Some of those hours, some of those jobs, you're going to have more experience, of course, but the more experience you have, the more options you have. And believe me when I tell you that there are no shortage of options in regards to jobs in the trucking industry. I'll tell you that this is a great time to get into trucking. They say that it is a trucking shortage, a truck driver shortage. And you will see when you look into that, the bonuses that are on there, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 sign-on bonuses. It's crazy. I just saw that from a company that I already worked for. They didn't have one. I worked for them, but they have it now. $10,000 sign-on bonus. Local truck driver with no experience, mind you. They even said it. We will take recent grads. Crazy, right? So the trucking industry is changing. You can get a good job. All you have to do is get that CDL. How do you get that CDL? Well, stay tuned because I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it. And in most of you all's cases, you would be able to do it for free.